Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have a DTRS session wherein we will discuss 10 important current affair topics and we will cover these topics through MCQs. And the lead topic for today's discussion is Dragon Copilot. So we will understand about what is Dragon Copilot. And before we go ahead, let us quickly see a quotation. This quotation is very important and such quotations are very much important for the UPSC essay paper and GS paper 4. So what she says that to know how much there is to know, there is beginning of learning to live. Basically, this quotation is philosophical one. It means that if you want to know that how much you have to know, right? And how much you have to know, this is the beginning of learning, okay, to live, okay? To know how much there is to know is the beginning of learning to live, okay? So means like if you want to live, right, you need to learn about living, and to know how much to know is the beginning of learning to live, basically, okay? So like this statement is a repetitive ones, but like, you know, she talks about philosophically that there is huge to learn, right, in our lifetimes. And if you want to know how much to know, right, you are actually beginning to learn in your lifetime, okay? This is the thing. So such quotations are important. What you need to do is you need to derive the meaning of such quotations, right? It is philosophical quotation, all right? So this is Public Admin Foundation batch. Basically, Lukmaan IAS is going to start its Public Admin Foundation batch from 3rd of June 2025. All the classes will be taken by S. Ansari sir, right? So there will be around 135 plus lectures. There will be more than 20 test papers also. And also printed study materials will be provided to all students. And all of you who are preparing for UPSC Prelims of 2025, right, you might have revised your subjects, but this is the right time to take mock tests. Mock tests help you to understand how much you have learned, and it will also help you to understand the learning gaps, whether you came across some important topics or not. So if you attend the Panch Sutra mock test series, so you will come across many new areas also. You'll get to learn about those areas that you have already learned. Maybe let's say like some value addition will happen. For all these tests, there will be discussion by the faculties at Lukmaan IAS. All right. And again, Ethics Foundation batch is going to start from 2nd of June 2025. All right. So you can join the Ethics Foundation batch as well. So these are the 10 important topics that we are going to cover today. And these topics are very much important for the UPSC Prelims exam of 2025. So first topic is Dragon Copilot. So we will discuss about what is Dragon Copilot. So this is a topic from Science and Technology, okay? So it says Dragon Copilot. So basically it is an AI system, artificial intelligence system, okay? So this system has been launched by Microsoft. And what is this system all about? Basically it's a kind of speech to text bot, okay? So you can ask questions to this particular let's say chat bot, and it is going to give you answer. And this Dragon Copilot has been especially designed for healthcare sector, means medical professionals. If they're making a report, if they need some input from the artificial intelligence system, so they can utilize it, okay? So it says it is an AI healthcare tool offered as part of Microsoft Cloud for healthcare. This statement is right, okay? So basically this technology has not been developed by Indian Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, okay? So this is a technology that has been developed by Microsoft, okay? So there is a company which is known as Nuance Communications. So Microsoft has partnered with that company and built that technology. So it can be accessed through mobile app, browser or desktop, and integrates with electronic health records. So first and third, which is option C, okay? Option C, 1 and 3 are correct related to this question, okay? So this is a kind of artificial intelligence bot, and it has been developed by Microsoft, and it is beneficial for the healthcare sector, okay? Healthcare professionals will get benefited. It says Microsoft unveils new AI assistant Dragon Copilot. How safe are AI tools in healthcare, okay? So recently, I think last year, there was a UPSC mains question. In UPSC GS paper 3, UPSC has asked a question, introduce the concept of artificial intelligence, and also there was a subsequent sentence that says like, is there any risk of using AI in healthcare sector? So this particular example showcases that AI is being adopted in the healthcare sector also, okay. So initially there might have been some concerns, but it is slowly and gradually, let's say, like, being adopted by healthcare sector as well. Now this is another question, question number 2. We will read this question, okay, quickly. So this question is about a missile defense system, okay. Name of the system is Taurus KEPD 350 missile, okay. Name of the missile is Taurus KEPD 350 missile. So now they are asking question about this particular missile, that like who developed this missile, what is the kind of range of this missile, right? So it says it is a joint initiative between NASA and ISRO. This statement is wrong, okay. Why? Because this missile has been developed by two companies, one German based company and other Sweden based company, okay. German and Sweden based company, they have partnered together, okay. So German based company, its name starts with Taurus, okay, like that. So they have partnered together and they have built this missile defense system. Now second statement, the missile has a range of more than 500 kilometers and can penetrate dense air defense systems. This statement is right, okay. So it has a range of more than 500 kilometers, okay. It can penetrate dense air defense systems also. Now third statement, it says it is powered by scramjet engine. No, basically this is powered by a turbojet engine, okay, turbojet engine, okay. And it has a speed which is less than 1 Mach. It has a speed between 0.6 Mach to 0.95 Mach. What do we mean by Mach? 1 Mach is the speed of sound, let's say in air, which is around 343 meter per second. 343 meter per second. It is a speed of sound in air. So if a missile has speed which is equivalent to speed of sound in air, we will call it 1 Mach. If it is more than that, so it is, let's say, 2 Mach, 3 Mach, like that. So it has speed less than 1 Mach. So this particular missile is a subsonic missile, means its speed is less than the speed of sound in air, okay. Correct answer is option 2 only, okay, option 2 only. So we will see a newspaper article also related to this. So it says this one, JAS 39 fighters can now strike deep inside Russia. Sweden to integrate deadly Taurus missile on Gripens, okay. Sweden is going to integrate this particular thing in their own missile defense system. So this particular technology has been developed by German and Sweden companies, right, together. So it's a kind of joint venture of these companies, and Sweden is going to utilize this missile, right, to strike deep into Russia, like that. So we have another question. So this question is related to World Food Program, okay, World Food Program. It's a kind of, major broad-based question. So we will read these three statements. So it says it is a specialized agency of the United Nations that focuses on hunger eradication and food security. Although World Food Program is associated with the United Nations, but it is not a specialized agency of the United Nations, okay. So it is not a specialized agency. Few agencies are specialized agencies. For example, Food and Agricultural Organization, that's a specialized agency. Many other agencies are there, but like World Food Program is not a specialized agency. Now it says World Food Program has been functioning in India since 1945. This statement, let's say this particular statement, we'll go through it. The primary source of funding for World Food Program is mandatory contribution from UN member state. Okay, so let us see this particular question. All right. Okay. So basically, like, the first statement is kind of, it is correct. It is a specialized agency of the United Nations, but it has not been functioning in India since 1945. And primary source of funding is mandatory contribution. It is not a mandatory contribution. I mean, like, they can get voluntary contributions also from members. Okay, so mandatory contribution is not a primary source for the World Food Program. So correct answer is option A1 only related to this. And why we are reading it? Because World Food Program has recently been news. So World Food Program to close office in Southern Africa after Trump aid cuts. Okay, so United States of America has kind of cut down the aid, the support that it was giving to this particular program. So since the support and aid has been cut down, now World Food Program is closing its office in South Africa, okay, Southern Africa. So that's why it is in news. So you need to learn about, let's say, such organizations that are in news, okay. Now we have another question. This question is related to, let's say, modified cotton variety, which is Bolgard 3, okay, a genetically modified cotton variety. So we will discuss why cotton varieties are in news, because recently what has happened in India, in the state of in the state of Punjab, the demand for Bolgard 3 has increased, because people who are cultivating cotton, so they need Bolgard 3, right? And recently, like, some regions in India have notified that they have incurred losses in cotton production. So that's why it is in news. So it says it was developed by Indian Council of Agricultural Research. This statement is wrong. Why? Because it has been developed by a company which is Monsanto. It is kind of an international company, okay, Monsanto, that has developed Bolgard 1. So Bolgard 1 has been adopted, okay. So I'm just writing BG1. Bolgard 1 has been adopted in India in the year of 2002. Then BG2, it was adopted in 2006, right? BG3 has not yet been adopted. So it says Bolgard 3 is currently the most widely cultivated genetically modified cotton variety in India, replacing Bolgard 2. This is wrong. As of now, we are using Bolgard 2 widely in India, okay, although there are some demand from Punjab related to Bolgard 3. So both these statements are wrong, okay. So this is related to cotton cultivation in the country, okay. Generally, cotton is cultivated in regions that are drought prone, where, let's say, like, we have lesser availability of, let's say, like, water. It is cultivated in Maharashtra, Vidarbha region. You might have heard about it, okay. So it says cotton crisis in Punjab, how regulatory hurdles might be making things worse, okay. So this is the thing. I mean, like, so Punjab people, they want to get access to Bolgard 3, but like regulatory hurdles are there, so they are not able to get the Bolgard 3. They have access to Bolgard 2, okay. Then we have another question. This question is from geography section, okay. This is from geography section. So here we are talking about a river. Its name is Vishwamitri River. Which river? Vishwamitri River. So it is linked with two other tributaries, Dhadar and Jambuwa, and finally culminates into the Gulf of Khambat. This statement is right. The Vadodara stretch of the river is unique, that it is home to a large population of mugger and marsh crocodiles. This is also right. Correct answer is C, both 1 and 2. Basically, this is a river which is in news. So we are reading some factual information related to this river. Mugger and marsh crocodiles, they are they are in news. So it says serious deviation from NGT's mandate. Citizens span measure to desilt and resurrection Vishwamitri River in Vadodara. Okay, so basically, I mean, like, this newspaper article was there related to that river. And so they are saying that NGT mandate was there, and now people are deviating from the NGT mandate. So that's why NGT means National Green Tribunal. Okay, so this is a body that makes sure that, like, anything that is being done in the country, so they are environmentally friendly. If anyone is doing harm to the environment, so NGT can kind of impose heavy fines on them, right? So now this is another question. This question is related to sea meadows. Now, what do we mean by sea meadows? Basically, this question is related with geography and environment and ecology. Sea meadows are basically the plants, I mean, like, that live underwater. But generally, these plants live underwater in shallow water, not in deep water. Okay, so they live under shallow water. And these plants can store huge amount of carbon dioxide. They can capture carbon dioxide at a rate which is 35 times higher than the tropical rainforest trees, than the trees that are in tropical rainforest. So it says these underwater plants can store carbon up to 35 times faster than tropical rainforest. This statement is right. These grow in deep coastal waters. This statement is wrong. They grow in shallow coastal waters. Okay, they grow in shallow coastal waters. Okay, they grow in shallow coastal waters and serve as nurseries for fish, turtles and dugongs. All other parties, right, only deep should be replaced with shallow. India has vast seagrass meadows home to 600 species. Basically, we have only 16 species of, okay, we have only 16 species of seagrass meadows. Okay, so only statement 1 is correct. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is seagrass meadows. This is seagrass meadows. Okay, so like, you know, underwater kind of plants, grass, underwater grass. And so they provide habitat, food and so many things to the species of fish and all. Even dugong, let's say, feed upon it. And they are capable of storing huge amount of carbon dioxide. They can keep the carbon dioxide for thousands of years. So it says seagrass conservation key to global biodiversity and climate targets. Okay, so a recent study have been published related to this. Okay, now we have another question. This question is related to ropeways. So consider the following statements regarding National Ropeway Development Program, Parvatmala Pariyojana. Okay, now let us understand what is this. So let's consider there are hilly states, hilly regions. On one side maybe there is a mountain, on other side there is another mountain, in the middle there can be river water, or maybe, I mean, like, you know, the terrain is very much rugged. If the terrain is rugged, I mean, like, you know, roadways will not be available. So that's why they are trying to make alternate ropeways. Ropeways means a kind of, you know, bridge which is made using rope, right? Rassi ka bridge bana ke, right? So it's related to that. So now they have asked multiple questions related to this. First statement says, the Ministry of Development of Northeast region is the nodal ministry of this scheme. This statement is wrong. Basically, there is a ministry which is known as Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, MORTH. Okay, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Okay, so this is the nodal ministry. Means like, this is the ministry that generally develops the roads across the country. But the thing is, like, this ministry has recently been mandated to kind of, you know, be a nodal ministry for Parvatmala Pariyojana also, the same ministry. Okay, so it is Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Second statement, it says the program targets to provide ropeway facilities in hilly areas of northeastern states only. This statement is wrong. Why? Because it is not only northeastern states. There are, let's say, Himalayan states also, like Uttarakhand, right? Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, we have Jammu and Kashmir. I mean, like, you know, many other states are also part of it. Okay, under this Parvatmala Pariyojana. Okay, so that's why second statement is wrong, because they are saying like they want to build it in the northeastern Indian states only. Okay, which is wrong. The ropeway facility to Hemkund Sahib, located in Kumaon, Himalaya. Okay, this statement is wrong. Basically, Hemkund Sahib, this is correct, but, like, you know, the name of the region is wrong in this particular question. What is the name of the region? It is not Kumaon, Himalaya. It is Chamoli district. It is located in Chamoli district in Uttarakhand. Okay, Chamoli district in Uttarakhand. Okay, in Uttarakhand. Like that. So correct answer is none. Okay. Why first is wrong? Because name of the ministry is wrong. Second, here they have said only northeastern states. That is wrong. Okay. Third is name of the region is wrong. Okay. So you see, cabinet approves development of ropeway project from Gobind Ghat to Hemkund Sahib Ji. Hemkund Sahib is a Sikh Gurdwara basically, okay, in Uttarakhand, under National Ropeway Development Program Parvatmala Pariyojana. So it was in news, so that's why we have framed a question related to this. Now we have another question, question number 8. Okay, we will go through this question. What this question says: consider the following statements about gene banks. Okay, gene banks. What do we mean by gene banks? Basically, these are biological banks where gene samples are stored. Okay, gene samples, biological banks. Okay, so gene banks help in securing long-term food security of a nation. Okay, first statement. Now, we'll read the second statement also. Second statement says India has not been able to set up a gene bank of its own. This statement is wrong. We already have one gene bank which is operational, and that first gene bank has been set up in 1996 by Indian Council of Agriculture Research, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, ICAR NBPGR, okay, ICAR NBPGR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources in New Delhi. So they have already set up this particular thing in 1996. They are building the second gene bank in the country. So India already has one gene bank. It says pollen as part of a plant can be used to conserve the genetic material of that plant. This statement is also right. Correct answer is option B, only two. First and third statements are right in this question. Okay, first and third. Now we will move to the next question. Okay, so before that we see this news article. Here it says gene bank to be established to ensure food security and genetic resources for future generations. So Prime Minister of India has said this. Okay, so that's why I mean, like, you know, we have taken this question. This is another question. We will go through this question. What it says: which of the following species of toothed whale, okay, a kind of whale species that has teeth, toothed whale, native to Arctic is referred to as sea unicorn. Okay, it is known as sea unicorn. Its name is narwhals. Okay, narwhals. Narwhals is a sea unicorn. Why it is sea unicorn? Because, like, you know, this particular whale species, this whale species has a long kind of, you know, long this, I mean, like, you know, teeth to it, long teeth to it. So I'll show the image also of this whale, and its name is narwhals. And recently people have been able to capture photograph of this whale. Okay, so they are known as sea unicorns. So sea unicorns, narwhals, their name is narwhals, studied for the first time using their tusks to hunt fish, forage and play. Okay, so this is how narwhals look like. So they have very long tusk like structure, and they are known as sea unicorns. Okay, this is the last question for the day. Okay, so this question is related to an act which is known as Dramatic Performance Act of 1876. Okay, Dramatic Performance Act of 1876. First statement, it says this law was enacted by British to clamp down on budding Indian nationalist sentiment following the visit of the Prince of Wales. Okay, so this particular statement is kind of, you know, right in this particular question, question number 10. Okay, this law was enacted by British to clamp down on the budding Indian nationalist sentiment following the visit. So what is Dramatic Performance Act? Basically, earlier what used to happen, like, there was no communication medium like we have today. Like, you know, we can speak on the phone, we can, let's say, like, you know, communicate through email, we can communicate through social media. That time it was not there. If people had to share their nationalistic ideas, right, so they used to conduct a street plays. I mean, like, you know, they used to go to the street, they used to shout, people used to come together and they used to do street plays so that that sentiment can be passed over to other people. But like when the Prince of Wales came, so they have noticed that, like, you know, nationalist sentiment is being propagated through street plays. So they have enacted this Dramatic Performance Act 1876 so that, like, a street plays can be curbed, street plays can be stopped, right? I mean, like, they can be censored. So that's the thing. Now it says the law had been declared unconstitutional and was repealed by Lord Ripon to contain sentiment. Basically, I mean, like, you know, it has been repealed not by Lord Ripon, but it has been repealed in 2007 through an act which is 2017 Act. And name of that particular act is, like, you know, some repeal act. Name of the act is Repealing and Amending Act 2017. Okay, Repealing and Amending Act, amending Second Act 2017. So what is this act all about? Basically, the recent government, okay, the government of India has created an act which is Repealing and Amending Act. So using that act, whichever law that they feel that this is kind of, you know, British era act, I mean like which is no longer in use. So they are repealing all those acts using this act. Okay, they are kind of nullifying all those acts. So it is repealing and amending act. Okay, so second act has been created, repealing and amending second act 2017. Using this, they have repealed this Dramatic Performance Act 1876. Okay, so that's the thing. So correct answer is A1 only. Okay, A1 only. So what was the colonial era Dramatic Performances Act mentioned by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Okay, so he has mentioned about it. He has said that, like, such acts are no longer in use. That's why we are repealing them. Okay, that's the thing. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.